This app applies the ectotherm model to some forecast data for Australia. So it's really only relevant to those of you who are interested in what's going on in Australia. Let me just share the screen. So we're talking about the Australian Ectotherm Forecaster. And click on the app. So this is connecting to the Australian Bureau of Meteorology's Access G 75-hour forecast. So 3-day forecast for Australia. It's 11-kilometre resolution. And it's actually starting off at a site near where I live. It's set up for the properties of a blue-tongue lizard, which you can see pictured here, because I like to go looking for blue-tongue lizards around my house. This will also tell you pretty much what a tiger snake would do, which also occur around this area. So it's just the same as the Ectotherm app that I've already introduced. It's just running off this forecast. So you can see, so it's currently, well, it's just a bit past midnight now, actually, on the 13th, but this is showing you the 11th to the 15th. So it's not always, it's always a little bit behind. So it's showing what happened for me today, as well as the next 2 days. So it gives you a couple of days forecast. And so would have expected blue-tongue lizards to be warm enough to forage for about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, and then basking in the afternoon. And then also the next 2 days is looking pretty good for blue-tongue activity around where I live. If we went to somewhere colder, like the southwest of Tasmania, and ran the simulation, so it actually is extracting the data from that Access G data set, running the simulation, and it would only be active would have been active for an hour today, not at all tomorrow, and a couple of hours the next day. If we go somewhere a lot hotter, we go up into Darwin, run the model, you'll see they can be active all day, much, much warmer in Darwin. So again, with the ectotherm model parameters, you've got all the same parameters to change as you do with the previous ectotherm apps. So we could make them nocturnal and see when blue tongues would be able to forage at night, and they could forage most of the night up in Darwin. You could change the size, and of course you've got all the microclimate model parameters to change as well. And this app, it's actually able to make predictions beyond Australia. So we could make a prediction here in New Guinea. I can't remember how far north it goes, but it goes quite a way north. But just remember that it's making those calculations essentially at sea level when you go beyond Australia. So this app you can use to predict when you might want to do your field work. So when would be a good time in the next few days to go out, when it actually may be that it'll be cloudy in the morning, but by 1 o'clock it gets warm enough, and so you can time your field work accordingly. If you get the properties of the animal right, make sure you put it at the right height. Especially, that's probably the most important thing. But also you need to put in the thermal properties. If you're not really sure of the thermal properties, you can just make it inanimate and just see how hot it would get at most, and that's going to tell you at least something. So hopefully that's useful for those of you in Australia, and maybe at some point I'll be able to make some forecast apps for other parts of the world.